So what is color psychology? It is a branch of psychology studying the influence of colors on human mood and behavior. So as I mentioned, every different color represents different human emotion. So you can pass the message to your users by selecting a matching color to give your message, as I mentioned earlier. The thing is that our mind reacts to the colors while we are usually do not notice it. So we have some universal standards as well. So if you take red color, it represents some messages, emergency, or in traffic light, it represents something else, stop. So that color bind to that particular human emotion or the message that they want to give. If you take the green color, it binds with success. And if we can use it in our interfaces to, let's say, we perform some action in our application, and we want to give them a success message. So in that case, we can use green color accent to give that message to our users. And yellow color represent different things. So we are going to discuss different colors and what are the emotions that they represent in detail in later slides. The moment our eyes perceive color, they connect with the brain, which gives signals to the endocrine system, releasing hormones responsible for the shifts in moods and emotions. So whenever, as I mentioned, we learn that different color represent different human emotions. So as soon as you uh, presented with this particular color, uh, it is automatically giving you different human emotions. So it will give you different moods. For an example, Instagram uses like colorful theme to make sure that it is interactive, and also it is uh, targeting users that are passionate about photography or updating about their daily life. So that is why they have researched and found out that this is the color scheme that we should use in our particular platform. So they are maintaining that particular color even in the logo and loading animation, and everything is in that particular gradient accent. So they are maintaining that to make sure that they are giving right message to their users. So as I mentioned, the stop sign, most of the road signs that we should be precautious have red color. So stop sign is also red color. And hospitals and even hospital corridors are using red color to represent emergency or danger, or even for the ECU. Uh, they have this kind of a path so people can easily go there. It means emergency. And here, meaning of colors: to convey the right tone, message, and call users to make the expected action, designers need to understand what colors mean and what reaction they evoke. So as a designer, uh, you have to study about colors as well. So you have to make sure that you research about your end users and understand what are their expectations when they are using this platform, what are other competitors are doing. So what are the human emotions that they want to uh, convey or the send to our users. So you have to make sure you understand different colors and the binding human reactions or the reactions they evoke when we presenting them with those colors. So we're starting off with the red color. Red color usually associates with passionate, strong, or aggressive feelings. It symbolizes both good and bad states of mind and soul, including love, confidence, passion, and anger. In design, the use of red color is an effective way to draw users' attention. Also, it's recommended to use red sparingly to avoid negative reaction. So if you visit to a website, or let's say you're trying to make an online payment for movie ticket booking application or something. So if your payment is declined or something that uh, you expected was not happen, they are sending us a warning. The message usually is in red color. So it is a good way to tell users something went wrong with the application, or your card may be declined or something like that. So the success message is bind to green color. So unsuccessful message, most of the time they use red color. So let's say you want to deactivate your Facebook profile or LinkedIn profile or something. So when you go inside your account setting, most of the time, these buttons, when you click on deactivate, these buttons are in red color. Even the text are in red color. So it try to draw your attention. So because you are trying to perform a task that is need your attention, so it is trying to get your attention and give you that you are doing some action that you should perform cautiously. So that is the message that they trying to give. And it is also when you use it sparing. Sparing means when you use it with different color, red and white, red and black, or some color matching. So we in UI we don't use red color completely, like 100% red color. We can't do that because it is straining to eyes as well. And make sure to use it sparingly with different color accents. So if we do that, we can convey love, confidence, passion, and even anger in by creating this UIs with red color accents. So in here, this onboarding process, this particular application, they are having a red color background where they try to get our attention and give us an idea about what they can do, what users can do by using this particular application. So it is a good background color if you want to draw users' attention to every step in your onboarding process or any other uh, process in your application. So as I mentioned, in error messages, when you try to fill a form or sign up, sign in, contact form anywhere, most of the time, actually, it is a good practice to send users, like prompt users, their error message with a red color. So they can quickly notice it and make sure not to make that error again. So error state, we can represent it in red color. And next one, emotional state. So when you like a photo on, let's say, Instagram, double tap, you will get a red color heart. They are using same thing in some other applications as well because they want to represent this particular message. So emotional response is the idea behind that. And even in this kind of a cart, this is a shopping cart. So when you add this kind of a product to your shopping cart, if you want to remove this particular item from your card, it present with a red color cross. So you know that you have to be cautious about the action that you are trying to perform. So you can remove it by clicking that. Most of the time, they will give you the confirmation pop-up, and then you can remove this from your cart when color is red. So that is the idea behind that. So this one I mentioned earlier, when you're trying to deactivate your profile on Facebook or any other application, they usually don't give you the real accent color. So Facebook usually use blue color, but in this particular case, they are trying to convey a message and they are using red color. So you have to make sure you are performing potentially dangerous action. All right, that is about red color. Now let's see orange color. Orange is an energetic and warm color, bringing the feelings of excitement. Orange combines red's power and yellow's friendliness. So we are going to talk about yellow color in the next slide. So it may bring feelings of motivation, enthusiasm, and love to life. Designers use the color if they need to give the spirit of creativity and adventure. So if we take an example, let's say can you give me an example that they use red color accent in that one application that you use in day-to-day life? Any application that you came across? Shalana, any idea? How about Dulan? Janit?
I can't remember the application name, but when
Okay,
we fill the our name, email, and the mobile number, if there is a error, it's showing the red color thing.
okay,
This
okay.
that.
Okay, they are trying to give prompt you an error using red color. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
All right. How about Jerem? Have you came across any red color accent or this kind of interaction when you're using applications? Ruksha and Sasanka, how about you?
Yeah, there are incidents that I came across, but I can't remember exactly which app and some of the
Okay,
information.
all right. So you know the use case, right? They are trying to prompt you a message. So it represent danger or this kind of a error state. It will prompt you in red color. So orange color. So orange color is feelings of motivation, enthusiasm. So most of the time, that applications built to let's say for the fitness people, fitness purposes, they have this kind of a orange and black color, orange back accent. So they trying to bring the motivation and enthusiasm and love of the life to the users. So it is also good colored if you want to convey the message and send the message to your users that represent creativity and adventure as well. So if I take an example of this kind of application, um, it's all right. This particular uh, online store, the clothing store, merchandise store, they are using orange color accent to their buttons. The call to action button is in orange color and add to cart button is in lighter version of the orange. So it is a good practice. So they are trying to convey this message, motivation, enthusiasm, creativity. And these are some designer t-shirts and t-shirts represent different bands. So they are trying to convey this kind of a message and they know about their end users. They might prefer these colors and that is why they are using this orange color accent in their application. Now we are going to talk about the color in between red and orange, which is yellow. Sorry, the next color after orange. This is the color of happiness, which symbolizes the sunlight, joy, and warmth. Yellow is thought to be the easiest color to visibly see. What is more, it has one of the most powerful psychological meanings. Users seeing yellow colors in the design can feel inspiration and confidence. Although you need to remember that too much yellow may bring negative reactions, such as the feeling of anxiety or fear. So if you take yellow color, so most of the time it is using in applications that try to convey the message inspiration or confidence. So every one of us have like when you see yellow color, it remember as the sunlight. So it gives us the inspiration and confidence, a new day, a joy, uh, and warmth. So all the feelings are combined in this particular color. So we can use the same thing that we physically experience in the digital applications as well. So we can convey the same. We can pass the same message that we want to give our users by using this particular yellow color accent. But if you are using too much of yellow color or too much of any color I mentioned, so it will bring some negative reactions from users as well. So you have to make sure you have the right combination of colors and choose and use your colors wisely in order to make sure your designs aesthetically pleasing and also giving the message that you want to give to your end users as well. So in here, this website, we have the heading in yellow color, whereas all the accent, this border and the carousel, we have it in a yellow color. All right. Now it's green color. It is often called the color of nature, balance and harmony. Green brings of growth and inexperience. It has more positive energy than most colors, but sometimes it associates with materialism. Design in green colors perfectly so it's the products connected with nature, calming and renewing feelings. Also, it's a sign. So if you want to send your users, if your users are someone who's focusing about nature or eco-friendly application or something like that, and you can pass the message about positive energy. So you can use this green color. So most of the application, let's say ride sharing application or even bicycle riding application, they usually use this kind of a green color accent because they are trying to convey the message that they are trying to reduce carbon footprint. So that is why this particular application in green color. That can be a one reason. And if it is regarding, let's say, apply trip advisor, they are using green color accent because their application is about traveling and travel experience. So they want to uh, convey the message, the nature, balance, and the harmony. So those are the things that they consider when they select this particular green color in their application. So in here, this website, it uses green color background and white color text. So green color background because it is something related to the nature. So that is the message that they want to give. So in website or any other application, we as a good practice, we use green color to pass the success state. So if you do a successful transaction, sending money successfully, if you book a ride and it is a successful action, so we can convey that message by presenting them it in a green color accent. Even if you're trying to get users input, if they fill the form correctly, we can give them the submit button in green color accent. So it will convey the message that you have filled the form correctly. Now you can submit. So even after the submission, you can send them the submission message like this one, that your form inquiry successfully sent, and the admin will get back to you or something, some customized message. All right. So in here we have this scale. So where the most used or most suggested plan, we are going to give it in green color accent. So users know that if we select this is a good deal. So that is the message they're trying to pass in this particular UI and selection of the color. So if we go to applications like Stripe, this call to action button, first one and the second one. So the first one, what they want you to do is they want to start. So they have sign in button here. If you want to sign up, uh, they give that in a green color. So while red means stop, green means go. That is why green can be used to encourage users to participate in some activity. So they calling users for take some action. So start now button is in green color. So rather than using this kind of a secondary button, the first thing, the primary focus of this particular website is users to click on this start now button. So that is why it is in green color, and it is prompting users to sign up with this particular green color button. There are many other websites as well using similar mechanism and similar color styles to convey the same message. So if you compare these two, let's say email templates or landing pages, uh, I got it from a research paper. So when we present users with different versions, so we call it split testing or A/B testing. So in A/B testing, what we do is we create two designs, maybe two different color themes, one with green color accent, one with red color accent. And when we put our website online, we make sure that 50% of users get this version, the green color version, and other 50% are getting a red color version. So that is called A/B testing. And then finally, we analyze how many users are visiting this website. From them, how many users are seeing this green color version and how many users are seeing the red color, how they react, what is the reaction. So are they clicking on the green color button more? Are they clicking on the red color button more? Are they reading the message that we want to give? So those things that we consider. So after we do the research, get to know that the most of the users click on the green color button. They are not comfortable when we present our main action button in red color, because we have some idea, we have some experience that this kind of a red color represents some dangerous action. So people are comfortable when they present with green color more. And next one, we have blue color. It is often represents some corporate images since blue is the color of trust. It usually shows reliability, may give users calming feelings. However, as a cool color, it also associates with distance and sadness. So designers need to keep it in balance. So as I mentioned in the beginning, the most of the websites that we interact, most of the applications, let's say for an example, Facebook or even LinkedIn, have different versions of this blue color. So the message they want to convey in LinkedIn, it can be trust or the professionalism. And Facebook, it can be reliability and trust both. So they trying to convey this particular message to their users. So we consider blue as a cool color. We have cool colors and warm colors. So warm color category, we can put red color and even yellow color and even orange color. It is kind of like if you're looking at that color for some time period, it can give you eye strains. It is not easy to look at that color for longer hours. But blue color, you can look at it for hours and it won't give you any eye strain. It won't feel like you can look at it for hours. That is why Facebook and Instagram and for a best example is Facebook, because most of the users are spending hours on the Facebook application. So if they use some kind of a different color, let's say red color, it will give you eye strain. It is hard to look at and most users will close the application. That is why they are using this blue color. So if you want to message, pass the message professionalism and these messages trust, reliability, you can use blue color accent. So this website here, they are using blue color background and white color foreground text to give their message to their users. Now we have purple. Okay. Long associated with royalty and wealth since many kings wore purple clothes. It's useful for presenting some luxurious products. It's also a color of mystery and magic. So if you want to give a message about mystery and magic, and if it is a luxurious product, you can use this kind of a color. So different brands, let's say for an example, if we take a brand like Coca-Cola, they're using red color. If we take Facebook, it is using blue color. So the messages they're trying to convey are different. So you come across many different brands with different color accents. So now we were discussing about purple. So the mystery and magic is the message that they want to give. So if you take luxurious products or any digital products or wealth planning companies, so they are actually trying to present users with luxurious products or product plans or subscriptions. So that is why they are using that purple color. Their target users are different and these are the messages that they want to give. It mixes the energy of red and blue because it is in between red and blue in the color wheel. So it has the balance of power and stability. A big concentration of the color may distract users' mind. So if you concentrate of this, like if your website or a UI has more proportion of this purple color, it will distract users' mind. So this is the purple color accent and they are using it with blue color or the mint color text on top as well. Okay, next one, pink color. It is the color of hope, sensitivity, and romance. Pink is much softer than red, so it creates the sense of unconditional love. Pink is associated very strongly with youthful femininity. It may be an effective color if the target audience is mostly girls and young women. So if you, even from the childhood, most of the girls prefer to have things in pink color. So we can apply the same thing. So if you research about, if you ask the question or if you do A/B testing and research, if your end users are female, they tend to click on, they tend to give more attention if it is in something that they already know, the pink color for an example. So if you want to create an application targeting women, a specific banking application, or even pregnancy tracker or something like that, you can use this kind of a color to get their attention. So they are comfortable with that color. So in here, this particular website has pink color accent. All right, next one is brown color, the color of security and protection, like the mother. Designers commonly use brown as a background color in a variety of shades, from very light to deep. It brings the feelings of warmth and comfort to the designers. Also, it may be used to show experience and reassurance. So like green color, a brown color is another color that we see every day, right? Color of Mother Earth. So it shows the security and protection. So these are the messages that they want to give. So most of the time, this kind of a websites, the gold or jewelry website, or even cafes who specialized in coffee or something like that, they want to convey this kind of a message: warmth, comfort, experience, reassurance. So they can use this kind of a brown color accent to convey the message that they want to give to their users. Give me 1 minute. All right, black color. The color has a great number of meanings. It associates with tragic situation and death. It signifies a mystery. It can be traditional, modern, serious. Everything depends on how you employ it and which colors go with it. Black matches well with any other color, so it is ideal for background. Designers often use it to set contrasts. So if you have an application that you want to convey the message such as mystery or traditional or modern feeling or seriousness, you can use black color accent. So most of the time we are using black color as the background color. So as the dark mode came into place, now most of the application has dark mode. So in dark mode, the background color, in light mode, it is white color background. In dark mode, we usually use black color background. So in this way, you can match different colors. So good example is Spotify. They had the black color background from the start. So even when they launch in the application, when all the other companies such as Apple Music or even some audio streaming companies, they had different UIs. They never use black color as the background. So that is one selling point, one point that Spotify took even from the beginning, because they knew that users will use this application if we give them a black color accent. And it has some advantages in phone's battery as well. When we use black color background, the phones we have like pixels in our phone. So number of pixels you have to light up in your screen will be minimum. So when comparing to white color screen, black color screen, you don't have to light up many pixels. So it will reduce the energy consumption as well. So it will save your phone's battery. And in environmental wise, so it will reduce the carbon footprint. It is emitting so much of uh, white color if we use white color to the environment. So if you're using black color, it is not emitting that kind of a light to the environment. So it is another uh, advantage of that is we are protecting the environment as well. when like if you use one device, it won't affect that much. But when considering all the people who are using mobile phones or digital device, it is quite a lot. Okay, designers often use it to set contrast. So if you want contrasting, so if you want your users to give their attention to certain part of your screen, you can use black color and some color, some other color, let's say yellow or orange or even red or even green as a button color or accent color on top of that black color background to convey that message to the users. So in here, we have this fast food company and most of their menus and the background and everything, even if it is a website or even a physical, you can create this kind of a design for the company. So I think you have already came across the black and yellow is one of the popular themes in food industry as well. Okay, next, white color. The color means purity and innocence, as well as wholeness and clarity. White often associate with a blank sheet of paper, motivating people to generate new ideas. However, too much white can cause feelings of isolation and emptiness. So white color, we are even from our childhood when we interact, when we try to draw something, when we get an art book, it is in white color. So we apply the same principle in digital world as well. So whenever you open a board in Figma or even Photoshop or even Illustrator, you get the same color background. So it will enhance your creativity and you can generate new ideas. So it is something you are used to. So you can be creative, you can think out of the box. So most of the time, even we have black color version, dark version in our website, it is a good practice to start off your website or a design with a white color background. So it will give you creativity and the freedom to try out different colors, different graphics in our design. Otherwise, if you put the black color first, your creativity will be limited because you have to match the colors to the black color background as well. So always make sure to do your design in white color background and then convert that particular design to black color if you design in the application for the dark mode as well. In design, white is commonly used as a background color, especially for the resources for which readability is a vital part. So if you go to website, if you take an device such as Amazon Kindle, they have a white color background and black color. Now with the dark color theme, they have a black color background and white color foreground, which can be used in nighttime reading, but most of the time users like to read with a white color background because that is what they are used to. Because if you take a book, it is all of the time have a white color background and black color text. So we can apply the same principle if you have so much of text. If you have a text-rich website, if you are looking for the readability, you can use this particular white color and black color. So if it is a blog or a news agency website or something like that, you can use this particular color combination. So in here, they have white color background and the message that they want to give is in black color. All right, so those are the main colors that we wanted to discuss. Now, color meaning in branding. Colors are a vital factor for not only the visual appearance of products, but also brand recognition. So if we take different brands, let's say Coca-Cola, as soon as you see it, you know that this, even if it is a red color, you know that this is representing this particular brand. So some other brands. So if you take other fast food chains, McDonald's, they have golden arc in yellow color and black color text, and also KFC is in red color, and Burger King or some any other well recognized brands, they have some kind of a color. So that is the color that they are using for their branding as well. So in branding, colors tend to have more direct meanings that in common understanding than in common understanding. I'm sorry. They can be briefly described with a few words. So here is the list for you. So this is the colors and the human emotion or a message that they want to convey to the users. So red color represent confidence. youth and power, whereas orange is used to friendliness, warmth, and energetic feeling. And yellow color can be used to convey happiness, optimism, and warmth. Green color, peace, growth, and health. Blue is for trust, security, and stability. And if you want to give luxurious, creative, and wise feeling, you can use purple color. And black is reliable, sophisticated, and experienced, whereas white is simple, calm, and clean. So as a UX designer, you should have a good idea about what all of these colors represent. So if you thinking about some color that, let's say you did your research about the application that you want to develop, and you went to Dribble and find out that these are the colors that other users are using as well. And try to research about what these colors are representing, what kind of a human emotions is it matching our end users. So those are the things that you should consider when using colors. All right, now color preferences. Blue is the top color. Both men and women of all ages think of blue as the favorite color. Brown and orange are dislikes. The first one considered less favorable among men. So brown color is less favorable among men, and orange is less favorable among women. So you have to make sure to match your demographic, match your end users. So if your end users are more men, make sure not to use brown color. So, and back and forth. Cool colors are preferred. Men and women favor blue, green, and their tints in general. So if you give them this kind of like preferences guideline or a preferences quiz, they select these colors. So women like tints. When men prefer pure or sophisticated shared colors, ladies are good with this. Lighter value than the hue of that color. Men prefer chromatic colors, white, black, and gray are neutral colors, and men are keen to choose them. So if you take this graph, 57% of men like blue, and whereas 35% of women like the same color. So that is the most dominant color in both genders if you take. So in here we have purple color. For women it is 23% and not even in the color wheel for men. So the second most prominent color in here is the green color, and whereas this one also has the green color in their design. So if your target users are gender based, let's say you are developing application only for specific gender, so you have to consider these colors. Otherwise, you can take the color that most both then genders like. In here it is a blue color in this research. So you can do your research and select on a color to represent that idea. And also another thing that you have to consider, these are some points that you should consider when selecting a color. Number one is color psychology is rather complex to understand and learn. However, it may become an efficient tool in designers' hands, helping to understand users and their demands. So when you're selecting a color for your design, it is a good tool in designer's hand. So after you do your user research and everything, you can come up with a color and give them this color to interact with. So you can test the human interactions without, like let's say you have two different colors, as I said, in A/B testing. You put blue color with some darker accent and blue color with some lighter accent. And you can check the video recordings or any other analytics recordings and select what is the color is performing well. So in that way, if darker blue is performing well, we can promote our application in that particular version, and we can stop the lighter version altogether. Next one is choose colors wisely. They have a deep influence on the users. So choose colors wisely is also important, because let's say if you are designing an application for specific people, let's say in specific demographic, it can be religious people or different religion, different area of the world. So you have to consider there are some people have different colors representing their goals and ideas and everything. So make sure uh, not to use that colors that influence, like let's say if they don't like you to use particular color in your application, it is conveying some different message. Don't use that. So you have always have to make sure to use the colors that don't do any, let's say, harm to your users as well, because otherwise they don't like your colors. They will think that I should not use this color in my application as well. So make sure your designs and colors convey the right messages and tune. So convey the right message and tune means if you want to convey a message, let's say you're developing a mobile application for banking industry, you are targeting professional people. So the message that you want to give them is security or reliability or something like that. And the tune can be the accent, the percentage of different colors. Let's say the blue color has a spectrum. It can be dark blue, light blue, and all the colors in between. So you have to select the color, the best color. Should I select darker blue, or should I select lighter version, or should I select something in between? So you always have to make sure to select the correct color and the color combination, and also the percentage of the color to give them the message in right tune as well. Learn your target audience. The color preferences and meanings depend on many factors, including age, gender, and culture. So as I mentioned, when we talk about accessibility, we talked about some people with visual impairment can't see different colors. They can't differentiate between red and red and green. So you have to make sure you use icons, or you have to select some other colors if your target audience consists of more people with visual impairment. You have to consider all these factors, and it can if you take gender. So as we saw in earlier slides, different genders prefer different colors, and different ages. All people may like different colors, some darker colors, which they can see properly, and younger people will like more playful colors. And also some cultures are representing different colors. So you have to learn about your target audience and apply these colors wisely when you're designing your application. Some colors may look different on the screen of different devices. Additional testing never hurts. So as you know that most of our devices, so if you take different brands, Apple, Samsung, or even LG or any other thing, they have different color profiles embedded to their systems. So it can be RGB, Apple RGB, or even Samsung has different color profiles. So you have to make sure you test these colors in all these devices. So red color you selected for your design in Apple device can be different from when you look it in TV or any other mobile device. So make sure to test all these colors in different devices as well. That is a good practice when you do cross-browser testing and cross-device testing. That is something that you should consider. Select your colors and uh, see them. Are they performing? Is it the same color that you selected when you're designing? So that is a good thing, because when you select red color, if we watch red color on TV, it can be really hard. Like it will give you eye strains as well. So make sure to use light colors and test all your colors before you launching it to the market. Test with different devices. It may be a good idea to test UI colors with representatives of the target audience. So let's say we are developing application for the banking industry. So it is a banking application, and then you have to always make sure to test this with representative target audience. So this is this mobile banking application. The target audience can be pensioners. So you have to make sure you use the correct colors with dark depth, contrasting colors from background and foreground. So people can differentiate between and they can read it easily, because most of the elder people won't be able to read it properly. They might have some visual impairment, so you have to consider all these when you're selecting color. So you have to interview some of these representatives from your target audience in order to make sure that your selection of color is working properly. So that is another thing. Try to make the color combinations wisely in the best way for the user's perception. So when you use color, when you choose color, you always have to make sure you combine different colors. You can't use one color in your complete website. So for an example, if you take Facebook, in lighter version, they have white color background, black color text, and blue color accent call to action buttons. So that is the combination that they came up with. And different websites have different combinations. So you have to make sure that you and combine it by referring to your users, research outcomes and everything, and best way for the user's perception. So at the end of the day, even if you designed in the application and you selected your colors and your client like these colors that you selected, but most of the users are the people who is deciding that your application is successful one or not. So if they don't like your color combination, they will reject your application. So always make sure to think about a user's perception, because they might use your application in different times. Let's say for an example, ride sharing application, some users try to book a ride to go to their work, and they want to go really fast. So if you don't have good color combination and it is hard to use, they will find some other application and they won't have a good experience when using some application. And some other person might try to book a ride, and he's trying to go on a trip or something. So he's not that it is not that uh, like he don't have that much of a demand requirement. He has time, so you have to make sure you make an interest on this person as well. So you have to consider about different perceptions that people have when they are using your color, your application as well. All right. Any questions so far? Okay. Now let's discuss about color theory. So color theory is the collection of rules and guidelines which designers use to communicate with users through appealing color schemes in visual interfaces. So apart from the main colors that we use, we have another thing called color theory. So all of the designers should know what this color theory is. It is actually about the combinations of colors that we can use in our uh, designs and how we can communicate. So the main method that we can communicate by creating UIs are from selecting good typography, selecting good background, selecting having a good structure in our design. And one prominent thing is color. So you have to select good color, and these colors communicate with your users. And if you have good appealing color scheme in your visual interfaces, it will communicate the message that you want to give your users uh, with without an issue. So it will be effective if you select a good color. So we have color wheel. So these are primary colors, yellow, red, and blue. And secondary colors, the colors in between those, which are orange, purple, and green. And we have full color wheel. So all the colors are filled. So if we start from here, we have three main colors, and all the colors in between the different shades are in full color wheel. All right, these are some color schemes that we study when we try to do UX. So number one is monochromic. So in the color wheel, in monochromic color scheme, we use one color, we select one color from the color scheme. And we can use accents of that particular color. So maybe darker yellow, lighter yellow, and with some combinations of white color and or also black color, things like that, any color from the color scheme. And then we have analogs. So in analogs, we use 3 different color that next to each other in the color wheel. It can be these 3 colors, it can be somewhere from here. So you make sure to use 3 different colors from the color scheme which are next to each other. Complementary is the colors that opposite to each other in color wheel. So if you select this yellow color, you can select purple color as your second color. The orange color, you can select this mint color as your second color. Next, we have split complementary. In here, we use one color. So, and 2 colors uh, next to the opposite color of each other. So if you select this color, this particular yellow color, we can, the direct opposite color is this purple, and colors next to it are these 2 colors, the pink and the darker blue. So you can apply that in color wheel, and maybe let's say you try to select this green color. So color directly opposite to that color is red, and you can select this pink color and darker orange color in split complementary. Next, we have triad. So triad is actually applying most of the time in printing industry, but there are some cases in UX design as well. So when you take the color wheel, and if you divide it to, let's say, 120 radius angles, 3 colors that you're getting in that particular angle are called triad. So you can get this yellow color and this blue color and red color. So if we apply it here, we get 3 different colors and so on. And tetradic. So in here we get 4 colors from the color wheel, and these colors are in a 90-degree angle. So if we take this yellow color, we have purple color and these colors. So you can apply it and you can rotate the color wheel and change the colors accordingly, but you have to select based on this particular diagram. So 90-degree angle should be there if it is a tetradic. All right, now we have 2 different color schemes, RGB and CMYK. The difference between RGB and CMYK, this one is additive and this is subtractive. So because of that, we are using, let's say in RGB, if you add 2 different colors, it will give you this kind of a lighter background when it is overlapping each other. So in here in CMYK, CMYK is actually using for print media. So it is printing this particular purple color ink first and then this yellow color. So it is giving a darker color background in here. So that is why this RGB color is the one that we are using in our digital industry. And in the print industry, when you are designing of print media, always make sure you use CMYK color profile. Otherwise, if you use RGB and then try to print it out, the colors might be different. The printouts colors that you're getting can be different. All right, now we are going to talk about these color schemes in detail. Number 1, we have monochromatic. It is based on one color with various tones and shades of it. So you can clearly see that. The monochromatic harmony is always a winning choice since it's hard to make a mistake and create a distasteful color scheme. So as a designers who's starting your design career, what you can do is, this is the good choice that you can make. So you won't make any mistakes when you select only one color accent. Otherwise, let's say you're trying to add 3 different color combinations. So you have to research and you have to think about, is it the right balance between colors. But if you are using one color only, you don't have to worry about that. The monochromatic harmony is always a winning choice. So in here, the color they have chosen is blue color. So they have blue color background and light blue text, as well as light blue and white color graphics. So they are trying to convey a message, something related to the space. So that is why they are selecting this color, and it is combining really well. So the designs are good to look at. Next, we have analogs. To create analogs harmony, you need to use colors located right next to each other on the color wheel. So we can select colors right next to each other, ideally 3 colors next to each other. This type of color scheme is used for the design where no contrast is needed, including the background of web pages of banners. So you can use this kind of a color scheme when there's no contrast is needed. So you may not have any call to action buttons on top of that. So if we use this particular color scheme in our background, you may not have any call to action buttons. You don't have to make sure that you don't need your users' attention to that particular area of the screen. So in that case, you can use this kind of analog color scheme. So in here, they are using analog color scheme. So you can read this, and these areas are not that readable. So they're only trying to get attention to this particular part. So that is why it is in this color, and they don't need that much of attention, even though they are considering about design aesthetics. And this is the area that they are considering most. So that area is very readable, and it is not distracting with other texts as well. All right, next we have complementary. The complementary scheme is the mix of colors placed in front of each other on the color wheel. So you can clearly see that on right hand side. This scheme is opposite to analogs and monochromatic since it aims to produce high contrast. So if you select two colors opposite to each other, not like the colors next to each other, it will give you high contrast. So right now we are selecting this yellow, and if you put some other, this kind of a background, purple color background and yellow colored button, it will give you high contrast. So when you consider this yellow color background and then green color button, it will give you very low contrast because it is next to each other. But in the complementary scheme, so let's say for an example, red and green. So it is give you good contrast in your designs. All right, this scheme is opposite to analogs and monochromatic since it aims to produce high contrast. For example, the orange button on the blue background is hard to miss in any interface. So if you use complementary and two color combinations, it is hard to miss. It is getting users' attention to the screen area that you require. So in here, this infographic, they are using two colors that next to each other, this blue color and this yellow color. So that is why it is really contrasting, and users' attention is getting to the area that they are that designer is actually focused on. Okay. Next, we have split complementary. This scheme works similar to the previous one, but it employs more colors. For instance, if you choose the yellow color, you need to take two others which are adjacent to its opposite color, meaning blue and pink. So as I mentioned, the directly opposite color is this purple color. The colors next to each other are the ones that we are using. The contrast here is less sharp than in complementary scheme, but it allows users with more colors. So it is not contrasting as much as our previous color combination, but it is advantageous for users because they can select more colors. Otherwise, they can only select two. In here, we can select one more color. Like we can select 3 colors in this split complementary color scheme. So here you can see the color combination, the red and the adjacent color is this yellow, and we have these colors which are next to that particular color wheel in that particular color wheel. Okay, next one is triadic. As I mentioned, it is mostly used in print industry. When the design requires more colors, you can try triadic scheme. It is based on 3 separate colors which are equally distance on the color wheel. To save the balance in which with this scheme, it is recommended to use one color as a dominant and the other as accent. So as I mentioned, if you in the color wheel, if you draw rows in 120-degree angles, you get 3 different colors. So in the color selection, what you can do is you don't have to use the same amount, same proportion of the color. You can give one color more dominant. Let's say you can select blue color. 60% of the design has blue color, and 20% can be yellow, and 20% can be red, and so on. So you can select a dominant color and uh, select other 2 colors when you need it in the design. So in here we have one dominant color, which is red, and they are using these particular colors in their graphics. Okay, next we have tetradic double complementary, which are 4 colors opposite to each other in 90-degree angle in the color wheel. The tetradic color scheme is for the experienced designers since it is the most difficult to balance. So now let's say you started off your career and you, most of the time, we should only use one color. So this one color, and then with experience, you can match 2 colors, like this one and this one. And in here we have to balance 4 colors. So make sure you have good understanding about your colors and research about it. And it is not a bad thing to use many colors, but it should represent its users. If users like it, is it adding some advantage by having 4 colors in my design? So those are the things that you should consider when balancing different colors in your designs. It employs 4 colors from the wheel, which are complementary pairs. If you connect the points on the chosen colors, they form the rectangle. So if you say, draw a line from here, they create a rectangle. The scheme is hard to harmonize, but if you do everything right, the results may be stunning. So it is kind of hard to harmonize, but if you do it good, if you do it with experience and research, it can give you better user experience for your designs. All right, so in here we have an application designed for kids, where they can perform some activities and learn something. So we are using different colors for different levels, so different categories. So in that case, we can use tetradic color or split double complementary color scheme in our designs. All right, these are some color tools that we can use. Colors.co is one. And you can select different color palettes. And these are some combination of different color palettes that widely used on the internet. And you can click on start generate and select, create different color themes based on your users' requirements. And next one is Material.io, which is the color scheme that Google Material Design Library is using. So they have different color combinations. And if we go to Tailwind colors, they also have different color combinations. So they have this 950 is the darkest version, and this is the lighter version. So you can apply these commands and use their color scheme, color themes with different accents and shades to do your designs as well. Okay. Okay, that website is not working. I will update the link on Google Classroom. Okay, now we only talk about solid colors up until here. Now let's talk about gradients. So because we can see so many gradients are using in web design and mobile design, some of them are really good and some of them are not that good aesthetically and user experience wise. Those are not good combinations. So let's see how we can create a good gradient combination in our designs. So if you take Instagram logo, it gradient gives the icon more depth and dimension. So if we create a plain logo with, let's say, this purple color, it won't give this kind of experience. So only If it's in gradient version, that is why it is giving this kind of a depth and dimension to the logo. Gradients help to create something new and unexpected. Even a tiny element such as a logo can be exciting if you apply it correctly. Apply a gradient to it. So even a logo or any other button, call to action button, can be exciting. You can give them a new experience to your users if you are using gradients, but you have to select gradient colors wisely, and it should apply for the use case as well. So if you try to apply gradient colors for let's say professional application, banking application, it will not be a good idea. But if you try to develop an application for young people, uh, using this kind of a color scheme can be a good idea. It will give them a more depth and dimension, and it will feel excited to use this particular application when you have that kind of a background. And then we can empathize certain elements. Take a look at the home page example below. Text message and call to action button plays a key role in this layout, and gradient background visually prioritize the elements. So in here, you can see the background gradient and the logo. So most of the time when users visit your website, the first area that they focus on your website is left-hand side top, right here, which we call this area we call hero area. And this is the area they scan first time. So gradients are perfect when you need to draw people's attention to certain areas. So this is the prominent area with the text and the description and the call to action button. So designer want users to draw their attention here. So they are using their gradient wisely to give the message that they want to give. So if we take a website like Stripe, it is also using this kind of a gradient background. So the gradient is actually using animation, which actually focal point is somewhere in here. So it is easily draw users' attention to this particular part. So they will read this, and their description text is not distracted with this gradient and call to action button right here. So that is another good example of like good way of using gradient in your UI. Learn basic types of gradient. So if I open a page on Figma, let's create a, okay. First one is linear gradient. To create a linear gradient, you need to specify two colors or two tints of the one color. So let's create a rectangle here, and we are going to fill it with two gradients. So the first one, we can select from here. So I'm going to select this blue color as the first color, or maybe this one as the first color. And the second color I'm going to select is this one. Maybe this one, let's say. Okay, this is the second color. So this is a linear gradient. So it is, you can see this line, it is linear. So if I change the direction of that line, it will be like this. So this is the linear gradient and how we can create a linear gradient in Figma. And then we have radial gradients, are similar to linear gradients, except that they radiate out from a central point. As a designer, you can dictate where that central point should be and specify the size of gradient. So if I change this to a square and change this to radial, so it has a focal point. It is right here. So you can change that point and rotate it as you need. So let's say this is the size of the gradient that you need. So this is the radial gradient. You can customize it accordingly. And you can add multiple colors as well. But basically, radiant colors need at least 2 colors. Okay, next we have conic gradient is similar to a radial gradient, but both are circular and use the center of element as the source point for color stops. However, for the radial gradient, the color stops emerge from the center of the circle, while a conic gradient places color stops around the circle. So you can see the difference here. So if I select angular gradient, so that is the difference. So you can clearly see where the colors are changing. And you can change the focal point and the color change in place like that. But the color combination, the color splitting or the change in place is visible. Okay, these are some tips that can use to create impressive gradient. Number 1, don't choose color randomly. So red to green gradient looks dirty. So if you select random colors, let's say opposite to each other or some random colors, and if you put it in your rectangle and see, you can see that these colors are not that good. So you have to make sure that it is better to use analog colors, colors that next to each other on the color wheel or shades of the same color. So if you want to create a button, let's say I'm trying to create a button and the button text can be sign up. First color I'm selecting is this. I'm going to create a gradient, and the second color I'm going to select is this color. This is my button. So you can see it's a good practice. So if I select 2 different colors, let's say I have this kind of layout. I select my first gradient color as red, this red color, and the second color is blue, or let's select green. So you can clearly see that it's not that good. So the color combination is not that uniform, and it is it don't appear to be aesthetically pleasing as well. So always make sure to select colors next to each other or same color shades from a one solid color like this. Create smooth transition. The transition between colors should be really smooth. Ideally, the user shouldn't notice the place where one color flows to another. So in here, if I zoom it in, you can't clearly see where one color stops and the other color starts. But if I change this to something like this, you can see that the blue color is stopping from here and the other color is starting somewhere around here. So that is not a good gradient if you create it like that. So this one is a good one. It create a smooth transition. You can't clearly see and distinguish which color is stopping where. And if you take this one, take a look at the following example. You can notice the line that separates 2 colors. This line creates the impression of abrupt transition. This is not a good practice. All right, next one is convey emotion or mood. Color evokes emotional responses. We can use this color property to connect with the audience on a deeper level. So this one, bright color, bright bold colors stir positive feelings. So as I mentioned, when I talk about yellow color, we talked about positive feelings, the warmth and everything. So you can combine two different feelings uh, with a gradient. So you can combine this orange color with a yellow color and see how it look like and try to convey the feelings. This particular airline service, they have this kind of a combination, the gradient combination with two different gradients that next to each other in the color wheel, and they are using it to create a background effect. Okay, this kind of a deep tones, we talked that blue is a deep color. So it is bringing calmness to your users. And even here, the blue color they are using, it is nice to look at, and it is not giving you any distraction. So eye strains when looking at it, it is easy to eye as well. So that is why it is a deep tone and it is bringing calmness to your users. Okay, this is something you should avoid. Try to avoid acid colors. Acid color in its original context referred to a bitter taste. Acid colors rarely work well in user interfaces because they demand too much attention. So if you have a background as you have in right hand side, it will demand so much of users attention. So if you have text content or button content in your website, maybe on top of this, it won't get that much of attention that you want as a designer, that you want your users to give to them. So make sure to avoid these colors until you have some skills. There are some specific cases that you can use acid colors, such as, let's say, a music festival or some different theme. Uh, you can use these particular colors, but you have to make sure to use it wisely. So if you don't have a solid design skills, it's safer to avoid using them in your UI, especially when you design a gradient. So make sure not to use acid colors in your gradients like this. Okay, use gradient to direct the eye to a certain part of the screen. You can use a gradient to create focal points, especially helpful for smaller elements such as call to action buttons. So in here, this menu item, it has a orange and yellow, the light orange version of a button. And it is demanding users' attention to this particular add to cart button, call to action button. So you can use it to a certain point, certain focal point in the screen. So this is the focal point in this screen. So I showed you Stripe website, this one. So it is this part is the focal point in this particular case, and they have a good solid button here where users can easily interact. Okay, next one, don't forget about the color contrast. No matter how beautiful your design is, you shouldn't forget about accessibility. Always check the color contrast ratio. So uh, you play with different colors and you decided that this is the color that look like for our design, look good in our design and everything. And make sure you do your accessibility tests as well, especially if your application involves so many users in uh, elder ages as well. So you have to, this one on the left hand side, it is lack of a color contrast lead to bad readability. You hardly see the text on the background. And considering this, it is easily readable, even though the background gradient look that good, but it is very readable when comparing to this one. Okay, these are some other tools that you can use. In UX Pro website, they have different blog posts and some exercises that you can do and get some color tools and color combinations to a website that you are designing or developing. We have another color generator, UI generator. So it will give you different colors based on the design that you are selecting. And you can play around and select different colors and see how the combination will look like. Okay, what exactly is dark mode first? A dark mode is a night-friendly color theme that mainly focuses on using dimmed gray colors for surface and UI elements. Darker colors reflect less light while still providing a great reading experience. So when using dark mode, it only uses less lights. So digital bits that they have on your screens, it can be a mobile, it can be any digital device which has a screen. So number of lights, number of intensity that you have to bright up in the screen is limited when you have a light dark screen. So if you have a light theme, for an example, white color background, so all the pixels in your laptop or mobile have to lighten up. So it will resume some use some energy. So in order to reduce the energy consumption, we can use a dark screen. So that is one benefit comes with the darker scheme. So, and also in the night time, when you try to read, if it has a dark, like light color background and the foreground text is black color, it is not actually good in health wise. You will get eye strains and you won't be able to focus for a long time, and you won't be able to sleep properly because you have absorbed so much of UI that coming from this blue color screen. So that is not a healthy thing as well. So when it comes to black color background, when you have black color background and foreground text in somewhat gray color, it is a good combination. So your eyes won't feel that eye strain, or you can like read it and use it for several hours. So it won't affect that much to your sleeping habits as well. So when you have a dark screen, so most of the phones now have eye shielding theme as well, and it which reduces the white color and blue color that it is giving to your eyes. So that is a good thing to use. And when it comes to dark theme, it is beneficial for users who trying to read at night time, who trying to browse social media at night time. It is a good thing. As a design pattern, a dark mode is usually living across the user interface as a toggle. The dark mode is designed to be supplemental to the system's default or light theme. So if I most of the devices, almost every device nowadays have this dark theme. You can change it to dark theme. Let's say for an example, right now I'm using dark theme. If I change it to light, and if I keep it auto, in daytime it will give light theme, and at the night time it will give the dark theme. So if I prefer dark theme, I can use dark theme every time. So we can apply same thing to websites that we are creating as well. So for an example, if I go to this website, it is dark theme optimized. So all the background and everything is in dark color. So if I change the system default dark color to light color, the website itself change in the background as well. So you can write media queries when you developing a website to make sure that it is changing color according to users preferred color scheme, dark or light. All right. That is a good practice because we are giving users, let's say users like to have their phone in darker version. But when they visit to your website background is completely white. So it is not a good user experience because users are not expecting that. It should behave in a way that users expect it to be. So you have to make sure you give what users are preferred. Next one, dark theme is a good marketing move for making your UI stands out among similar brands or products. The deep, heavy backgrounds can become a perfect addition to your brand visuals. So if I take an example, the Spotify, when it came to the market, it has this dark color background with green color accent. From the time the Apple Music was dominating the market, when they introduced Spotify, most users like their look and feel, the application's look and feel. That is one of the main like success point of Spotify itself. So if you like to read their like to watch their story, there was a documentary on Netflix as well. If you have access, you can watch that as well. Always make sure to watch these success stories, how they fail, what are the reasons that they fail, how they quickly learn, how they adapt, how they pivot their designs to user-centric design. So always try to use these success stories as learning experiences. So uh, it is a good practice when you try to design a product. So it will give you have prior knowledge, or you have read this article or something. So it is a actually a really good benefit when you're trying to do designs, and you can convey these messages to your clients. And even when you're interviewing your users, you know what are the questions that I should ask from them. So you can tailor your questions based on these research findings, or these blog articles, or the video documentations that you watched already. Next one, dark mode as a feature can help reduce eye strain when operating your product. Especially if your product is heavy with text, a dark mode can help enhance your users' retention and focus. Give me 1 second. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, the dark mode as a feature, if you give a toggle button to switch on dark mode on and off, or even if it is changing according to system default setting, it will help users reduce eye strain. If your website or a mobile application is a text-rich website, so it can be a blog article, or even a book summary, or an audio book with captions and so on. So you can put this dark mode on, and it will help users to enhance users' retention as well as focus on what they are doing. So it is actually beneficial. Dark mode can potentially save your phone energy. So as I mentioned, when we have the dark color background, the digital bits that it should light up is minimum when comparing to the light color background. So that is how it is saving phone's energy. Next one, dark mode consumes 6 times less power on your screen by emitting less light, and as a result, can prolong your app lifespan and usage time. So it will give you more usage time as well. Healthier to read against dark surfaces, especially if you're reading in a dark without any lights in the room. It will help you to, it is actually healthier to read something in dark background. Okay, next we have plan your color use. Avoid or limit white on pure black colors. You can use pure black as a background for dark mode. So as here, the background color is black and the text color is white. In here, our background color is black, and our heading text and the paragraph text are two different shades of gray. So always make sure if you are using black color background, try to come up with some low contrast color combination for the foreground text as well. So it will increase your readability, as well as users can pay their attention and read it easily without any eye strains or anything. Okay, next one, brand your dark color. To make dark mode more unique, use a much darker version of your primary brand color as the surface. So in here on left hand side, we have this design, but it don't have any background color. So the main background is behind, and this box don't have any background color. It uses the same color as the background itself. But if you reuse this kind of a color, especially if you have content for a sticker, or if you have a user profile card, if you have a paragraph with a text or a slider or something, you can use this kind of a black background on top of your main background. So it will give you more contrast and the readability for your designs. It will give you some depth as well. So users can easily distinguish between your main background and the elements and the hierarchy of your design system that you already designed. Next, we have reduced color saturation. Avoid fully saturated colors in dark mode. So on left hand side, this green color is actually saturated. You can see the pixels as well. Even if I'm not zooming it in, you can see the color borders are not that visible. It is pixelated. So even for this button, it is not that good. But on right hand side, I'm using not using saturated colors. That is why it is really easy to eye, and you can easily define the borders of these elements as well. All right, next thing we can do is we can use these dark colors to communicate depth. Use a scale of lighter colors to translate the elevation. Avoid using shadows in dark mode. So we don't have to use shadows in dark mode. Your users won't be able to see them anyway. So instead of that, what we can do is we can give it a border like this. So depending on the background size, we can give a much lighter border. So it will distinguish between your element and the main background. So you can see here that the background color is this and the border is much lighter and this one. So it can communicate the depth between the element. So more depth you give, more color contrast you give, it will distinguish higher elevation, whereas lower elevation for these kind of colors, more darker versions and the darker border. Ensure your dark mode contrast. Dark mode, just as a light, should meet the minimum required WCAG standards to ensure all text is legible with enough contrast. So WCAG standard is another Europe-based governing body who provide assessments and laws for your UIs and how should be the contrast ratio between elements, readability guidelines and everything. So you have to follow these standards and improve the readability of your design. So this one, it has a black color background. Actually, this one don't have a black color background, and it is really hard to read when compared to this one. But this one has a black color background and it is easily readable. So that is good following of these standards. Okay. Design light mode first. While bringing your designs from light to dark mode, keep all the visual cues in place. Don't ignore or remove some colors for the sake of a dark theme, not to confuse users. So as I mentioned earlier, as a designers, we have to design light mode first. So when you get a white color artboard, you have your freedom to do your designs. It will increase your creativity because you are so used to that. Whenever you draw a design, when you do some art, you always do, even from the childhood, you always do it in a white color paper. So you can apply the same principle here in this design as well. And always make sure to start off your designs with light mode first. That is the recommended practice in the industry. All right, we have few plugins that you can use to create these light mode and dark mode variations and use them in your designs. And you can install these plugins and check how you can create different designs. But always start off with light design and finish your light design all screens first. And then when there's a requirement, do the darker version by changing the colors of this light scheme. So that is how we create color systems. We give them a toggle button where they can switch on and switch off light and dark mode, and developers can export the code to whatever the front-end framework that they use. So in here, we have different colors. The background color is more darker. Gray 900 means that is the darkest version of the gray. So we are using that here in the dark version. And to show the depth and elevation for the navigation bar, we're using gray 700 here. So you can clearly see the depth between each element. And even here on the light side, we use light 900 here and gray 100 as a background and blue color. So you can see that even though this is lighter than this background color, in lighter version, this navigation bar is lighter because light 900 is more closer to white than gray 100. So make sure to do this. So it will communicate the depth between the element. Users can understand and focus on the area that they want to focus on. So if we go here in Tailwind itself, we have these different colors. So as I mentioned, this is 900 or 950 is the darkest version, whereas this is the lighter versions. They also have this kind of a toggle button where you can go back and forth between dark and light mode. And they have system default mode as well. So if your phone or laptop set to dark mode, it will automatically give you dark mode version of their website. Use base colors to design dark mode. To make a predictable turning your light-themed UI to a dark side, use a set of base or neutral colors with the same transparency values from the very start of your project. So from the very start of your project, when you, let's say you finish off your designs or you have to decide on a color scheme, make sure to decide on the color scheme for both. These are the base light colors that I'm going to use. This is the color, the white color is the text color, and this is the background color I'm going to use. This is the darkest version in my base light application. And you have to decide on the lighter, like base dark application as well. These are the base colors for the background colors for the light version, whereas these are the background colors for different parts of your screen in dark version. So you have to think and make sure you decide on those as well. So actually these libraries, especially Tailwind, provide you different colors. You can actually use their color combination without even trying to research about it. So you can use one of these, this neutral color scheme or even this slate color scheme, and there are light and darker versions in your designs without an issue. There are some plugins as well on Figma where you can use Tailwind or Bootstrap libraries itself to do your designs. Don't overuse dark mode. If you are making a product for Mac Windows users, it's good to adapt your product's theme to sync with users' current theme automatically. This can help users to feel at home, make a great first impression. So as I showed you earlier, if you apply a color, if I select this one, the system color is applied. So most of the users, if they like lighter version, they set it in their system setting as a default option. If they like dark version, they will select it. So if they visit to a website, if they prefer dark version and your website is in light version, it is not the behavior that they are expecting. So they don't feel it like a home. So you have to make sure to uh, make them feel good, and making a great first impression is also really good, because most of the time, on average, most of the users spend only 3 seconds on most of the websites. So even if you put so much effort and create a website, you have only 3 seconds to impress your users. So always make sure to give a good first impression. So if we give them with what they are already expecting, it is a good starting point. So then they will feel it like home, and then they can browse through and try to find something. So it is a number one challenge as a designer. So to keep them in your website for longer time, more than 1 minute will be ideal, but at least 10-15 seconds to do your work, or convert them to clients. Okay, now we have useful resources. We have material dark theme guidelines. So Material IO is actually the Google's color library. So you can follow this material design dark theme guideline to make sure that your design stands out. So in here, what are the colors that you should use and how to conserve energy, dark with gray, and everything will be there. I will add these two. I think I already added today morning to the Google Classroom, so you can follow them and make sure to read them and get the knowledge that you require when you do the design. Dark mode UI inspiration. If you go to Dribble and search the term dark UI, it will give you all the dark UI that your other designers already done. So it is a good place that you can get your design inspiration for the designs that you do in the future. Figma tokens are plugin that help customize and adapt your design system to multiple themes. So Figma tokens, what it does is it gives you an ability to change your colors. Let's say it has color swatches, and it will allow you to change colors and try to uh, experiment with different colors by naming them first. So let's say you have black color as one color, then a gray color as another color, then green, lighter green, darker green color as another color. So you can go back and forth and change different colors and check if this is matching my UI. What is the best solution? So you can compare and select whatever the best one. And next we have contrast. It is also a plugin. It will show you the contrast ratio between your background and foreground elements. Especially if it is a text-rich website, it will give you is your text light enough? If it is in a darker background, is it readable? So those are the things that you should consider and you should use in your application if it is required to create a dark mode version.